is going to do that. Like, it's just going to that's just how it has to be. But usually most teams who go into rebuilds aren't in there for that long. Obviously, there's teams you don't want to end up like, like the Pistons and the Hornets. But at the end of the day, most of this stuff succeeds and you at least become competitive. And the thing is, realistically, we were gonna be contending. I feel like we'd be contending the same time if we were to keep Mikal Bridges and stay put.
But that's the other side of this that I think is so laughable is that we know about where Mikal Bridges actually plays. Somebody said we were underrating Mikal. I think we just explained it. Like, when Cal has to be the dude, I'm sorry. He cannot handle the pressure.
He's not a number one option. He's going to be basically
I'll say this, right? Mm-hmm. Mikal Bridges obviously is not a bad player at all. And it's just the reason why it, it just made sense for us to move him and why Nets fans didn't like him so much is just because it seemed how just valued he was. And it just seemed ridiculous to pass up, like a trade like this just to keep him. That was really the big reason. In reality, if we didn't view him like that, no one would hate him as much as, as we all do. But in the end, at the end of the day, the facts are the facts, and Mikal Bridges is not a number one option, and he's not. And that's what it seemed like we were viewing him as. And when you get a trade package like this, you're just going to move off of him. And now he's on the Knicks, so who cares, right?
But to be fair, he's far more valuable to the Knicks than he is for us. His value for us,
and it makes sense for the Knicks. It makes sense for other teams too.
Yeah.
Any contending team makes sense for Mikal Bridges. I don't know why Mikal wouldn't want to play for a contending team if he knows he can't even be a number one. It makes sense. And if he's in a good system, which obviously the Knicks are solid, but this guy's definitely not playing 82 games next year.
This was the first time I can honestly say that Mark's got value and maybe even above value for a player that I this was like one of my concerns about Sean Marks. And what did I always say, AJ? Like, you got to show me that you learn from your fucking mistakes. You can't just blame it on all the excuses. COVID, this, injuries, KD, Kyrie. You can't keep blaming the shit on everybody else. Like, you need to show that you, because wasn't that everybody's biggest concern to start this season and this trade thing was, are we going to lose value on our players again? And this right now signals a completely different thing. Like,
5 firsts, my God!
I'm thinking, where else are you going to get 5 firsts for Mikal Bridges right now?
My goodness,
they overpaid. They overpaid crazy for Mikal. They overpaid
25, 27, 29, and 31.
He's not worth that. He is definitely not worth that.
And let's be honest. Right? We've been killing Sean Marks for not dealing with the Rockets and getting our picks back. And this motherfucker managed to do both.
He cooked.
So he cooked. He cooked like, some people may not be fully happy, but it's like he was able to get 2 of our picks back by using some of the Suns ones, whatever. We know that's a gamble. I think
in the most valuable drafts, by the way, coming up.
Well, and to be fair, it's like, did you really want to wait till 27, 28, 29 to like potentially cash in on picks that you don't even know are going to fucking be?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. And it's like, there's every aspect of this is a gamble. And that's the thing that drives me nuts about all the arguing is that it's like, dude, you're not guaranteed any pathway to a championship by taking there's gambles, there's luck, there's getting the right guys. It's like there's so much that goes into that. Yeah. But why did most Nets fans feel more comfortable on the full tank? And that's because you can take your time and you don't have these ridiculous, unrealistic expectations of a team because the ownership and the GM are not telling you the bullshit that they should be telling you. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's fucking.
Real quick, Cam Thomas. Oh, it's Cam Thomas time, baby.
Oh yeah, no, I'm being.
He said it's Cam Thomas time, baby.
I'm gonna get 40 minutes tonight and just go crazy. There should be
Cam Thomas. Yeah, let's talk about if you're joining us right now, hit that like button, bro. Hit that like button. The Brooklyn Nets have traded blockbuster trade.
Do you know how many arguments too he just ended?
Yeah,
we don't have to argue about young players playing anymore. We don't have to argue about Cam Thomas getting.
Jay's here. Jay's here.
Oh, what up, Jay? You don't have to like that. This trade, I know Jay's gonna probably shit on maybe. I don't know. I'm interested to
Yes,
hear what
please, Jay.
says.
I need your thoughts, Jay. Please,
because
Jay.
we're kind of happy here a little bit. We're shocked and happy. We're pissed that it's to the Knicks, Jay. But what's your thoughts, man?
I have dueling thoughts from a standpoint of asset acquisition. If you knew the Knicks were willing to overpay, you should have got a player out of it also.
Another younger player,
a better player than Bogey.
Yeah, I agree.
Not
I
necessarily
agree.
a younger player, but a player other than Bogey.
Do you think they valued his 19 expiring though? Do you think they valued that 19 expiring more than anything?
No. I get that, but you still could have gotten another player from them. They can value that, but you can get Miles McBride or somebody else. And I'm not thinking of who else is on that team, but you could have got Miles McBride at the very least.
Yeah,
and you could have added that onto the trade, and it still would be a trade that would be done. So I think you could have. Look, when you know, this is the part where everybody was celebrating the Nets general manager. This is the part where I would disagree. It's the same thing with the Philly trade. When you have a team who is desperate and you want to make Jalen Brunson as happy as possible because he's coming up and needing to sign his extension, so you're going to do anything to make him happy, and getting McCone is going to make him happy, that means that team is desperate. Sure, they gave the picks, but you see what else you can get.
Yeah, I agree.
You see exactly what else you can get.
Yeah,
you could have pushed. I think you could have pushed for a little bit more. Hey, if you're happy with the trade, you're happy with the trade. Here's where I'm not happy with the trade, and I don't care what kind of haul it is. One, picks are not a guarantee for anything. They're just not a guarantee for anything. Picks sound nice, but until the player puts on a jersey and goes out there and performs, there are plenty guys who've been top 5 picks who are busts. Plenty of them who are busts.
Yeah, that's true.
And the major issues that I have with this is understand, and I'm not speaking on anybody else's fandom, right? Understand, I'm thinking of it from a season ticket holder's perspective. They charge me a lot of money for these tickets. They're charging us as season ticket holders of the big 3.
Still,
they ain't charging us as season ticket holders of a rebuilding team. And I know this is recorded. It was a few years ago when the guys were still on, when those guys were still on the team. I had a meeting with a group of people with Josiah, and they were talking about raising the ticket prices. And one of the things that I said to him is, you all are raising the ticket prices for a product that is not on the court. Their argument was, we're trying to charge tickets commensurate with the price of a New York City experience.
Oh, Jesus.
So they were trying to say that the big 3, because at that point, it was after we traded for Ben. They were trying to say that, well, Ben's going to be healthy and you're still going to have a big 3 and it's still a great ticket. That's what we're charging for. Well, they're still charging prices like that. And now we're a rebuilding team. So unless they are going down with their ticket prices, then I can't be happy with this because I'm not paying for the product that they're charging for.
No, that's a fair assessment. That's a very fair assessment because you should be. It is kind of nasty that that Sean kind of. First of all, the Knicks is really nasty. I'm sorry, it is. Just trading to the Knicks is nasty, but
it's the nastiest.
It is very nasty. It's really nasty how they're desperate. They gave up 7 picks. Like Jay was saying, we should have pressed them about it. Like we should have got McBride and somebody else. Who else do they have left on that bench or on that team?
It's really just McBride.
It's
really just McBride.
You know what's hilarious, dude?
I think he was the only person left.
All right, yeah, we should have took him. Like, why are we taking Bojan?
I just think it's expiring money, dude. I think they're so hard up to get rid of money, and they didn't want to take anybody back that had any more than 1 year, and they wanted to. They were willing to do that. I think there's still very.
Can I add something to it though? And I just tweeted this out. Cam Johnson is asking out also. He don't want to be here for this.
Good.
Oh yeah. Hey, I'll drive him to the airport.
Please get him off my team.
You are not missing.
Jay,
let me say this though. No, go ahead, Saint.
No. Cook, brother, cook. Well, I'll say it.
I was gonna say, if you know that Cam Johnson is also gonna ask out, and I'm saying you know that beforehand because you brought them in together and marketed them as the twins. So if one goes, the other has to go. Even if he didn't ask out, he has to go. You could have told the Icks, y'all got to take him too. Give us back Julius Randle. Give us back Julius Randle. Even if you didn't want to keep Julius Randle, you say give us back Julius Randle. That's another piece that you can trade to somebody.
Yeah.
And get more pieces. But you were supposed to dump him in this trade also. Y'all the twins, y'all can't be broken up. You had to get rid of him also. Because, and I say that to add on to it, you lost his number one target about a week ago when Detroit fired Monty Williams. Because Monty still wanted him back. He wanted his Phoenix guys back.
So
you could have went that route. You didn't.
Speaking on that, Jay, right? Now, and I said this and I asked them earlier. Now that Sean has shown the willing to blow it up, right? Like I'm gonna count my blessings with Sean Marks in this trade. I definitely know he could have done some other things to what you're saying, to your point, and I agree. But the fact that he pulled the trigger and whether it was him or Cy or whoever, because apparently now, the other day, Sean Marks got a pass because it was all Joe Tsai's fault. My thought is now that this, I'm going to have to restructure the excuses for Sean Marks, but it's like, so I need to know who I'm adequately giving credit to. Is it Joe Tsai or is it Sean Marks, according to some people? But anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways, so now that Sean Marks has pulled his head out of his ass, because on some level, for me, I'll just speak for myself. I got it. The guy cooked a little. And he learned a little for me. But how far does this continue? Do we see DFS gone shortly? Do we see CJ gone?
Yeah, the rebuild's not done.
Does this fuck up Claxton coming back and maybe change Claxton mind? Or is Claxton like, you know what? Thank God Mikal's gone. I'm in. What's up? I don't know. Like this move literally changes everything. Like I know we all thought to some degree had thoughts about Sean trading Mikal, but I think the majority of us, it's safe to say, did not think that he was going to pull the trigger. And the people that actually thought he would trade him is probably in the minority.
Yeah.
How far does this now reverberate to you, or what you can share down the Nets? Like, because this is groundbreaking for Sean Marks. If we're being honest, this is groundbreaking.
There are already people who already let them know they didn't want to be back. Dodo being another one.
Yeah.
Like they played around during the season and they led him and his family to believe that he was going to be traded at the deadline. And they did, and they kept him.
Yeah, that was brutal. We all saw that. That was nasty.
They have, if you pay attention to what they've been doing this off season, and shout out to Juwan Howard. From my understanding, he's supposed to be the summer league coach. I don't know if anything changes with that coming up.
I'm happy with him as a coach. I'm happy that we have him.
But these guys, if you notice in seasons past, the number of players who would be visible at New York Liberty games, they've not been visible at most games this season.
Correct.
The one game that there were multiple players at, it's because Clara Wu-Tsai asked all of them to come to the game because for the most part, none of these guys have even been in town.
Real quick, JJ, sorry to interrupt. AJ, why are we watching fucking
My bad.
No, it's funny, dude, because I'm looking at like Curry and I'm like, God damn how bad it's been. But anyways, go on, Jay. Oh, that brought back pain and misery. But go on.
These guys haven't been around.
Yeah.
And that's because before Sean has, excuse me, the Nets general manager is an individual who he runs this team completely different. Like he tells players when they need to come to town, when they need to be here. So the veterans need to report by such and such date. The rookies have to be here with the rookies whenever they say they need to be here, they need to be here. Like last off season, the report date was I think the day after or 2 days after Labor Day. It was something Labor Day week. They had to report to Brooklyn. That's when all the veterans were supposed to report to Brooklyn. And that's the way he's been running it. Now, these folks, man, nobody has been around. You saw, and I'm going to tell you what's funny, and I have nothing bad to say about this guy because I understand he's hurt, but in terms of how much love he's shown my children, I love Ben Simmons, yo. Like, he don't play because he always hurt, but even him, you see he ain't been doing any rehab in Brooklyn, right? But the one reason why he came back was to go to the Met Gala.
Yeah, that's true. And with his clock. Oh, but he's another guy, Jay. He's got to go. Oh,
yeah, but I'm saying he can easily just get a modeling career. I think you just call the sports career quits. Just go Paris or something, become a model.
So Jay, to kind of redirect you back to my question a little bit more specifically, who's leaving? In your opinion, is Claxton going to resign, and who else is leaving? In your opinion, it doesn't have to be a guarantee, but
I don't know if I promise you, I thought we had this conversation last week, but from my understanding, Clax would not be back. Like he said, he let them know what his number was, and in season, I'm pretty sure we had this conversation in season. In season, he told them the number started at 25.
How come they didn't trade him at the deadline then? If they know they weren't going to pay.
No. Because they had. Hold on, that's Pete. What up, Pete?
Yeah, what up, Pete? Yeah, Pete just like came in with a what up, Pete? What's going on, brother?
No. Pete, you said why didn't they trade him at the deadline? Because
they knew.
No. Hold on, Pete. It's a valid question. Because they did not plan on trading McComb. He just asked in the last few days to be traded, and he specified where he wanted to go. So they had no plans on trading him.
Did you guys see Bogdanovich only has $2 million guaranteed next year?
What?
Oh, then he should be cut.
Whoa.
Yeah,
it went from, how did it go from 19 to 20? Because we were looking up the contract. How did it go from 19?
No. He said guaranteed.
Only 2 guaranteed.
Just like Chris Paul has a non.
So, but what kills the 17 million is my question.
No, because you can just cut a guy before a specific. All these contracts, and it's not.
Oh
just
shit!
Anybody who
See,
doesn't
that's
for all of these guys who have non-guaranteed contracts. There's a date or dates when certain amounts of money are guaranteed. So if it's a partial guarantee, it may be a partial, like Pete said, 2 million. There's a date that it becomes fully guaranteed. So if you cut the guy before that, you're only responsible for paying him 2 million.
Yeah.
So if the guarantee date is July 1st, if you cut that man on June 30th, you pay him 2 million and he just goes about his way and he's an unrestricted free agent.
Now, but are you still taking the 19 million hit or just 2 million?
No, just 2.
Just 2 million.
Okay. What's that?
But is $2 million, but you can also, there are a number of people who have their contracts guaranteed so that they can be traded to another team.
Okay, so that was information we didn't have when we first got the info. That to me is pretty fucking cool too. That had to have been taken into consideration, and that just to me enforces that they specifically got a guy that they know that they can cut, and it's only going to cost them $2 million. Fuck yeah! Oh yeah,
but that
I know, but I'm just saying I see
problem.
I see why they did that though. That
no,
I get it.
I don't disagree with that, but that goes back to my problem. If you are going to field a tanking team, you need to be charging tanking prices.
Yes, I agree. And it looks apparently like I'm looking at one where Greg Brostertag said, make sure you lower the ticket prices for next few years at Joe Tsai. And then Bruce says, yeah, I saw Jay from BK comment about this. Nets owe their fans a refund. Something are getting screwed with the price of the product. Season ticket. Oh, he put STH, season ticket holders.
That's a tweet that I had.
No, Bruce put it out and tagged you in it about 17 minutes ago.
Okay.
So
wait, what did Bruce say?
I guess the point I'm saying of that tweet is that your message is out there. Like people are. I mean, that is and now you got people basically echoing what you've said.
No, but that's the thing. That's why I don't ever, like, there's some people who are like season ticket holders and they try to be all high and mighty. You look at me. Nah, man, we all.
Oh yeah, you're not a real fan because you.
Team,
yeah, you're not. That argument. Yeah.
I don't know anybody's financial situation, so I'm not above anybody, man. We all bleed the same color blood, man. And as we're fans of the same team, my only thing, and this is not me being above people, is if you're charging me a price, but the product is not the price that you're charging me for, that's a problem. And I think Durant prices, right? Have that. Yeah, we're paying Durant, Kyrie, and Harden prices.
So let me ask you this:
paying Durant, Kyrie, and healthy Ben prices.
How much did they jump from when you had them before KD and Kyrie, and then when they got here? And have they gone up every year since then?
They do go up every year. They wanted after they traded for Ben, because we were locked in for 2 years up until that. So that was the end of the second year. So that's why we had the meeting with Joe Tsai. It was because they were talking about raising the prices then. For some people, they raised the prices 175%.
That's insane, dude. 170. That's 25%. Yeah. Ugh, that's nasty. That's just straight nasty. But I mean, Jay, are you at least?
That's why. You're good.
I was just saying, my last question to you is: are you at least relieved they picked a lane? Like, I get that the other stuff, but like, are you happy at least that they picked a lane and they're like, they look like they're trying to do it the right way, opposed to keep pushing this dream of Mikal and our championship?
Yes.
Good. Yeah.
But let me add something to it, because I have had conversations with people recently, because I'm going to tell you, I was listening to the spaces that Cash was doing earlier today, right? And people were on there agreeing that Cam Thomas will probably agree to a $20 to $25 million contract if they offer them an extension. Yo, I was laughing so hard about that because, from my understanding, Cam wants a max. And his argument is, if you ain't going to pay me, fine. I'll just go to another team.
Okay, good. Thank you, Jay. Because I brought this, sorry to interrupt, but I brought this up before about the whole contract negotiation with Cam. And the biggest thing about that bothered me was, hey, if you would take a $20 to $25 million deal, you would do it. But I'm glad you cleared that up, because now I could be like, oh, okay, it's not even an option.
No, he's from my understanding, he's not interested in that number. And this is a part of my understanding. You agreed, and this is the way I analyze contracts. You know how when they have contracts and they have I forgot what it's called, but y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, where a guy can make up to escalator clauses in the contract, right? Like Drew Holiday hit a couple of them because they won the championship, because this, that, and the third.
Likely and unlikely.
Incentives. Yes.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Thank you, Pete. Incentives. Now, the way I look at contracts is based on the incentives of the contract. So I'm going to use Cam Johnson as an example. Cam Johnson signed a 4-year, $108 million contract. That's if he reached all the incentives. And to be honest, and I know some people say it's not realistic. I look at contracts as if these guys are going to reach the incentives, because if they reach the incentives, that means we've maximized the talent of the team, and we are championship contenders, because a number of people have championship as an incentive in their contract. So I look at it like that for my team to be completely successful, these guys have reached the incentives. If you're willing to give Cam Johnson a $27 million average, how do you then turn to Cam Thomas and tell him, no, we only want to pay you 20, even though you're a better player than the guy making 27?
Is there a market for a max deal for him? I'm sorry, whoever I cut off.
No, I think that there is, because how many people have talked about the way that the money is going to go up in this new TV deal? So if the argument is there's not a market for a max deal for him, there's a market for a deal bigger than 20 to 25 million for him. Especially if, and I'm not comparing them as players. His max number would not be that high. Like it wouldn't be 50 million. It wouldn't be a Spider Mitchell max. It would not be that. It wouldn't be a Jason Tatum 60 million, Jaylen Brown 60 million max. It would not be that. So if his max, and I don't know what his max number is, but let's argue and say his max number is 30 or 35 million, right? How's he not worth that?
I think he's worth 25 to 30. I think he's worth 25 to 30.
Who are you talking about? I just stepped away.
Cam Thomas.
Cam Thomas. Yeah. I think Cam is 25 to 30, possibly.
I agree with that.
He's that good. He's that good.
I'll say
we can pay that. We can pay that though, Jay.
The 20 to 30 range, I could see. I'm just gonna leave it there.
I think we can pay that, but again, the same issue that because Saint asked about Clax, the same issue with Clax. This guy, the Nets general manager, wants to get guys at his number. Yeah. And the only time he veers from that is if there's a friendship involved. Now I'm gonna say this, and I'm probably gonna tweet about this too. The egg that's on the general manager's face. He hired some of Mikal Bridges' friends behind the scenes on the Nets. He hired some of them because he was treating him like a superstar. He hired some of his friends, and those people are still employed by the Brooklyn Nets.
Not for long.
That man said, "I don't care that you hired my friends. I want you to trade me." So you treated him like a superstar. And including in treating him like a superstar, you gave his best friend $108 million for 4 years, and he's not worth half that money. Yeah. We can't get around that, man. I'm one who argues you're worth what you negotiate. That's usually what I argue. That man's not worth $27 million a season. You got to get him out of here, and you got to take a bad contract to get him out of here. You just have to.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree.
I hate to say this, Jay. I hate to say this, guys, but I think this might have saved Sean Marks' job. And I'm just with that. I'm gonna Pete. Everybody else jump in, but
yeah.
Oh.
I think we can get rid of CJ for like a good price, but it's like, yeah, the rebuild is not done, man. The rebuild is not done. It's not done. It's far from over.
I heard at least 4 or 5 teams that wanted CJ, like legitimately wanted him.
Yeah,
and would take him.
The stash of picks we have is crazy. It's unbelievable, but it's like now you just got to make sure the rebuild is right. You got to make sure you do it right, do it properly. You can't mess
I'm gonna
this
tell
up
you,
either.
One of the teams I heard who would take CJ, and it's funny, because they got people with bad contracts, are the Atlanta Hawks. All right, the Hawks take him, but we would have to be willing to take back DeAndre Hunter. And I don't know that that's a trade that you do. It's basically almost identical players, guys who are hurt every season, guys who have not reached both lottery picks, guys who've not reached their potential and may need a change of scenery to reach that potential.
CJ to Atlanta for Clint Capella, and we have to throw in like a pick or something like that.
With Clint Capella, we would.
This year, I think.
It's funny because Clint Capella has been on the Nets' radar for years, and I fully expected them to go after Capella. If and or when Clack signs with another team, but that was before they traded McCone. Now I don't think Capella's going to want to be here.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, all of these conversations that Nets Daily has had about they have their eyes on 2025. No, they don't. How are they going to get a free agent here now? What free agent is signing up to come to this team? When you all told me, look, and I've argued with a number of you all told me that it was Kyrie's fault, that it was KD's fault, that they asked to be traded, right? Now that McCone has asked to be traded, whose fault is it now? Is it still Kyrie's fault? Are we gonna blame Kyrie for that?
Jay, is it that he wanted to like be with his friends and chill with his friends?
I knew Mikal never wanted to be here. Like they made this man like Michael Jordan. Sean Marks was promoting this man like he was Michael Jordan. Like he was never that.
My boys though.
But this is where the ego comes in, ladies and gentlemen. You just traded Harden, KD, and Kyrie. What, like, I am not shocked that was the answer. Like, Jay just broke it down about money, about the continuous increase of this or that. It's like you came in talking a big game, and for whatever reason, and I don't even care to argue these shits anymore, like what the real problem was, is then you turn around and your fan base, that's the thing. Fuck with Nets Daily used to say about real fans and musty fans. And it's like, dude, they knew by and large the fan base was pissed the fuck off. And they did their best that they could with, like, you got left with the worst possible combination of players and a coach that you also, don't even get me started. But I'm not surprised.
Something really quick.
This was because Pete, I wanted you to get in here. This, to me, the reason why, like, this was Sean Marks's only play, in my opinion, to save his job. Because if he was going to keep going with this fucking weird ass like vision and plan that majority of us were like, yeah, no, this is not going to be good, bro. I think it would have been a disaster if they kept on that same plan.
Hey Pete, what did you say? No, Pete just said something about McCone that I wanted to comment on.
I was gonna say, thinking about like all these trades, right? Oh, which one about that? He wanted to be traded there or something? I was gonna say that thing.
We lost you, Pete. You're breaking up, Pete. You're a robot.
Is he a robot to anybody else?
Yeah, he's a robot. You're a robot, Pete. Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Now I can. Now you're good.
I was gonna say that out of all these superstar trades, right? How come we're the only team, the only franchise not to get a young player back?
Yeah, we never get young players back.
Why not? Yeah, that's true. That's so true.
I've said that 11 times, and people argue with me about that. Yo, Pete, I think I remember something that you were saying with respect to McCone giving them a destination that he wants to go to. And did anybody else read that tweet and get disgusted with it that he said McCone said he only wanted to go to the Knicks and he was going to use it as leverage against other teams that he would not re-sign with them? Yo, you look him dead in his face and you tell him, yo, look at me, and I'm doing 2 fingers to my eyes, right? I would tell him, yo, look at me in my eyes when I tell you this. You are Mikal Bridges. You have no leverage. You ain't one of them ones, man. There needs to be a general manager like Jerry West or a front office person like Jerry West or Pat Riley who would look at him straight in the face and be like, "What are you talking about?
These guys,
leverage."
Jay, that generation is gone, bro. Everything is, you cannot talk to stars like that anymore, Jay. Come on, you know.
He's not a star, and that's
I know, but come on, I'm playing the part, Jay.
Star.
I'm playing the part.
You're not even. Yo, I'm going to argue he's not even the 3rd best player on the team that he was just traded to. And if they re-sign OG Anunoby, he's definitely not one of the 3 best players. He's not better than Brunson.
Facts.
He's not better than Julius Randle. He's not better than OG Anunoby. And if you get me in a corner, I'm going to say when it was crunch time, the way Josh Hart played in some of them games,
Josh Hart's way more clutch than him. Way more clutch than him.
Did not give us anything like that, especially not in that Philly series. And Dante DiVincenzo also came up and was a scoring machine for the Knicks.
Yeah.
Yo, you're not one of the best 3 players on that team. Don't look me in my face and tell me I'm going to hold it against you that I can only go to one team. You're not a star. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Come on, man. And then when Nets fans arguing that we were going to give him $40 million.
What's that, Pete? We're losing Pete.
You got to do something about your Wi-Fi, man.
Yo, if you're watching us right now, hit that like button for us, y'all. Hit that like button. Get our likes to 100 tonight, y'all. It's going crazy. We're gonna be on here for a minute because this is crazy. Like I still haven't like digested this whole trade. Like I can't believe this is happening.
I'm just hoping the God, there's so many terrible words. I'll use the word cleansing. I'm gonna keep on a positive note. I just how far like how much cleansing is about to happen, and because now this just completely changes the face of the team. Like, how funny would it be if it's like rookies and like 3-year guys that only been in the league like 2-3 years, and then it's just Ben Simmons.
Bro, do you like Sean gotta like?
This is gonna be great.
He's gonna still make. He's gonna make a whole bunch of moves. You better make some moves, bro. Like, don't be. This is not it. Like, don't go to sleep after this shit, bro.
I mean,
like,
I'm okay with a complete shit
like,
ass team. If I know you're going full tank, I'm completely okay with it. Full tank, I don't give a shit what happens next year. If you're
at least build through the draft and
you're drafting some good guy, I'm okay with that. If I know they appeared to have picked a lane, thank you for doing that. Yeah. I know it took you a while to get to this point, but thank you for picking a lane. Now just do this lane the right way. And that's where I'm at. Like, I'm excited now because at least now we have a direction instead of like all the arguments are done. Like a lot of the dumb arguments that people have been having for the last like 2 seasons, myself included. I'm glad all that's done. Because now we're all on the same page as far as like it's a rebuild. It looks like it's gonna get deeper. And then the fun part now becomes and this is the part where I guess we'll see. Does Sean Marks go back to quote what some people say his roots of being a better drafter and developing a young team? Like some people say that. Like, is that what we're gonna see? Yeah. Are they, bringing Jordy in? Does Jordy help completely change that complexion? Like, are we finally going to see a coach that's actually allowed to coach?
Jordy did not sign up for this.
No.
Do
you think he's pissed about this, or do you think he's relieved he's getting a clean slate?
No, he did not sign up for this rebuild. He did not sign up for this rebuild. He did not sign up for this rebuild.
Wow.
And let me say this.
Hey, Jay, are you gonna tweet about that?
I'm probably gonna tweet about it in the morning. And I'm saying that not as my own words. I'm saying that as a quote. He did not sign up for this rebuild.
Yeah. That's
he's as blindsided.
I don't know. I had a different take than that, but that's now that you say that, I don't like that you said that, because a lot of the shit you tell me is true. So
Saint,
I'm hoping though.
I'll say this here publicly, and if we see each other in the next few days, I'll tell you to your face.
I hope we do.
That's not that's not a quote or a take from my mouth.
Yeah. No, I hear you. It's one of those things where my hope with Jordy, at least in this situation, I'm hoping that this individual, because quite honestly, I know this may sound ridiculous, I probably trust him more than and Howard on that bit than I do anybody in that front office, or that was still there from the past. My hope is that this individual gets to masterly put together a young team in his vision. And I hope it has nothing to do with Sean Marks. Like, I really hope they're letting this guy, I really hope that they're respecting what he has to say. That's the only thing I can hope for right now with the fact of how this is going.
Yeah. Are you more like, well, Saint, how are you feeling? Like, are you more excited about this rebuild, or you're like kind of pissed off about how things turned out? Or...
Well, I mean, listen, there's plenty of me complaining about Sean Marks. Like, am I agitated? I'll always be like annoyed that we're in this situation.
Yeah.
But listen, and I'll make this like this is a life thing where it's like, I'm sorry, in life, when shit just does not go your way, or something is so bad, whether it's a drug addiction or whatever the fuck it could be, where you're struggling to change the course of something, most of the time it has to get pretty bad before it starts going up. Yeah. And there's always that part of this equation with the Nets in the situation that a combination of star egos, COVID, injuries, dumbass general manager and owner, just like across the board, the complete dysfunction of what we've watched has to hit a bottom and has to eventually start going up. So for me, there's that, and that will always be there. But I can't sit here and tell you I'm not excited. Like, I'm excited that finally, like, dude, that was the biggest bane and argument and shit that we've dealt with. And talking about the Nets has been around Mikal Bridges and what he signifies and what they put him at. Like, and the fact that that is gone out of the equation, that negative energy, all that shit. Thank you. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited. Like, that shit is gone. I want to have normal. Now we can get back to a lot of normal basketball conversations with the Nets. Yeah, now we can get back to clean, like getting back to talking about young players and the positives and this and that. That's where I'm at with it now. So, and I'm excited because I think now this just opens the gates of a couple other players are going.
Let me read some of these comments. Shout out to Any Man Bo said, pay Simmons to go. He's not a hooper. D. Grant said, what team is he going to take on Ben Simmons' contract if Nets decide to trade him? Shout out to T Green. Time to follow the OKC blueprint. Shout out to Andy. Mikal Bridges is a go for the Knicks. Wow. AK said, new season, new coach, new system, new lineup, new culture. Shout out to AK718. Yeah, bro. We don't have a pick in this draft yet. So that's what I'm saying. Sean's got us to keep working. I don't know. You better still wake up early, do what you got to do, but this is not over. Like, this is just only the beginning.
And nobody expected. I mean,
yeah,
I'm sure people that know, but like, dude, That's the other aspect of this. Like,
yeah,
he sure as fuck shocked me.
like, get some value out this draft. You got picks now. You got like DFS, CJ. You got these guys you can trade. Get some value for like we can get a lottery pick. To be honest, I think we still can get a lottery pick.
Well, Jay, I mean, or AJ, to also add to like, am I excited? The other thing the good thing, thank God, is that we had contracts that are very movable.
Yeah. Ben,
and that is like, like if I have to be positive and give him a tip, a little, like, not a tip, pause, but if I give him a little nod of the cap, is at least they didn't take on just atrocious after, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at least we can move other individuals, and it's not going to be I don't think if the right deal is met, like, thank God we're not being bogged down by like teams going, yeah, no, we're not taking
like Ben Simmons. We can give Ben Simmons to Utah still. Like, they would take a contract like that because he's an expiring. Like, teams love those expirings. You can just get them right off your
But
books.
I still need the only thing that I need to it has to be a positive for that other team to take him to, and that's the problem is, what are the Nets willing to take back for Ben Simmons that another team would want